Hi dears, here we are discussing class 9 lesson 6 tissues. This is part B. In part A we have discussed about the plant tissues, right? Now it's part B. Obviously we are discussing about the animal tissues. There are many kinds of tissues in animals also. To say there are mainly four kinds. First is epithelial tissue. The second is muscular tissue. Third is connective tissue and the fourth is nervous tissue. About all these we are discussing in this class. First one is epithelial tissue. We all know that the plant's surface or the plant outer covering was what, ma? It was epidermis. Do you remember? It was the cell which was throughout in the plant body and used to protect the plant from the attack of germs or to say in any other foreign particles from attacking the plant body. It was the epidermis which was protecting the plant. Like that, there is the tissue called epithelial tissue in animals which protects the animal body, and also it protects the organs and organ system also. This is the main function of epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue covers almost every part of the animal. The second point is not only the outer covering but also individual organs and even the cavities will be covered by what, ma? By this epithelial tissue. And the third one is it acts as a barrier between a particular organ from the other organ or particular organ system from the other organ system. It will act as a barrier. It is actually as a protecting layer of each and every organ. Okay, ma'am? And the fourth one is this epithelial tissue is tightly packed. This tissues, there is not intercellular gap between these epithelial tissues, and they are tightly packed, which make the outer covering very strong. Okay, based on the place where the epithelial tissue is found, we are categorizing it into mainly 5 types. First is squamous, second is cuboid, third is columnar, fourth is ciliated, and the fifth is glandular. Okay, we are going through each one in detail. Squamous. Squamous can be of two types, single squamous and stratified squamous. Squamous tissues are the one which can be seen in the alveoli and as well as in capillaries. Simple squamous are the one, they will be single celled and they will be covering the alveoli. Where is the alveoli found, ma? Alveoli is found in the lungs. Have you, do you remember, ma? The lungs, when we are entering in the lungs, trachea splits into bronchi, then into alveoli. This alveoli, through that, the exchange of gases used to take place, isn't it? In the alveoli, the cells, the single celled layer is giving protecting, and also it helps for the exchange of materials. So the simple squamous material or tissues will be found in alveoli and also in the blood capillaries. In the blood capillaries, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide and many other nutrients used to take place. There also the single squamous tissues can be found. Then the second is stratified squamous. Where it is found? It is multi-layered and it is found for the higher protective areas where the protection is much more needed. Where it is, ma? Absolutely in our skin, because we are in contact with the surroundings. So, the multi-layered stratified squamous can be found in the outer covering of the skin. Now, let me ask you one question. Is the epithelial tissue a living or dead? It's obviously, it's a living tissue and rapidly dividing tissue it is. If cells of these tissues are dead, it will replace by some other living cells. That's why when we are having injury, within 2 or 3 days, some new cells will come and it will cover the body, isn't it? These are the epithelial tissues found in our skin. Then second is cuboid. What is that, ma? It is cuboid. From the name itself, you are getting an idea that it will be in the cube shape, cubical shape. It helps not only for protection, but also it is seen in the areas of secretion and absorption. Okay, for secretion and absorption it will be always also helping. Then the squamous, not only for protection, it helps for the exchange of materials. Squamous was helping. Here the cuboid is helping not only for the protection but also for the secretion as well as absorption. Where it can be found? It can be found in kidney. The linings of the kidney, then salivary gland, then sweat gland. In all these parts, we can see what, ma? Cuboid tissues. Third one is columnar tissue. It will be in the form of columns, long columns it will be. And this columnar tissue is a single layered tissue. Single layered, and it helps also for the absorption purpose. Where it is found, it is found mainly in villi. Where is that villi? Villi, or we will say it as villi, right? In the intestine, absorption used to happen with the only in small projections. What is that, ma? Villi. There we can see this columnar tissues. Why the columnar tissues are found? It helps for the easy absorption because the surface area will be increased over there, and the villi will helps villi, with the help of villi, absorption is faster. In that areas, columnar tissues are found. Then, not only that, in the linings of stomach, we can see this columnar tissue, and in some areas of intestine, cuboid tissues are also found. Ciliated columnar tissue. Ciliated columnar tissue is actually it is a columnar tissue which is having hair-like projection, which helps to remove what? Mucus. It helps to push the mucus away from that particular part. That is about the ciliated columnar tissue. And the fifth one is glandular tissue. From the name itself, you are able to understand that it will be found in secretions or gland secretions. So gland secretes, right? In that part, these glandular tissues are found, and it helps for the secretion in the epithelial regions or epithelial surfaces. Now you got an idea about the epithelial tissue. Now we are moving for the muscular tissue. Dears, after this epithelial tissue, in your textbook, it is given as connective tissue. They have said about the connective tissue, but here for us to have a convenience, we are going through the muscular tissue. Okay, muscular tissue. Because when we are saying about the muscular tissue, after that it will be easy for you to understand about the connective tissue. That's why I am going for the muscular tissue initially. What is muscular? Where you can see the muscles, na? Show your muscles. Muscles can be seen, no? Not only in hand, it can be seen in legs. And we are going to discuss in wherever places muscles are found and what are the specialities of the muscular tissue or the cells which are made to form this muscular tissue. Okay, ma? For what purpose these muscles are there? If the muscles are not there, is there any, is it possible for you to do any work? Answer is no, because bonds are needed, but the bonds should be covered with the muscles only. Then we will be able to do any work. Yeah, to say running, then writing, drawing, or to say to do some activities with hands, legs, and all. The muscles are needed. So muscles, we can say it helps for locomotion or to say movement. Okay, and not only that, how it is happening? Only because of the contraction and relaxation of the muscles. Contraction means contracting. Relaxation means releasing. Because of that, we are able to use the muscles for these purposes. How is it possible? Because of the presence of, it's very important, the fill in the blanks, they all ask this question. How it is possible for the muscles to do this contraction and relaxation? Only with the presence of contractile proteins. With the presence of contractile, C-O-N, tract, T-R-A-C, tile, T-I-L-E. Like that, if you are splitting and learning, the spellings will be in your hand. Okay. contractile protein. Because of this presence of this contractile proteins, this muscles will be are able to be contracted and relaxed. Okay. Then elongation in the muscles, the cells will be able to be elongated. Actually, it is made of muscle fibers. Muscles cells are made of muscle fibers. Based on the places and the function, we are or they have already divided the muscles into three types. What are they, ma? Skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Skeletal muscles, from the name itself, you are having an idea. In the skeletal system, the skeletal muscles will be seen. So, is there any example for that? Your hand, muscles in your hand, muscles in your legs. All these are a part of what, ma'am? Skeletal muscles. Okay. Then, smooth muscles. It will be somewhat smooth. It will not be seen in the skeletal part. So, where it will be found? It will be found in the internal organs. We can say, right? In the internal organs, or we can say it can be seen in the places where these muscles are not used for this locomotion purpose. It can be seen. Okay, like that we can have an idea. Then what about the cardiac muscles? Where it will be found? Cardiac, heart, cardiac attack, heart attack. In the cardiac, you have learned in the 7th standard itself about the heart. You have learned, right? By the time we have said that the heart is the internal organ which is purely made of muscles. There is no bone in the heart, and it is made of cardiac muscles. By the time we have gone through that, now we are going to learn how it will work and what are the specialties of it. Okay, ma'am? First is skeletal muscles, or we are saying it as striated muscles. Okay, what are the specialties of that? It is cylindrical in shape. What is the shape, ma? Cylindrical in shape, and they are unbranched. The cells are not having any branches, unbranched and multinucleated. They will be joined and they will be having multinucleus. They are unbranched, but they are having multinucleus. And the fourth and important point is they are voluntary. What does it mean by voluntary? Voluntary means it can be controlled by us. If I want to do like this, I am able to do. If I want to stop it. Isn't it? If you want to write something, you can write by the time. If you want to stop, you can stop. If you want to run, you can run. If anybody is saying stop, you will stop. Because it is controlled by us. We will be able to control these muscles. So we are saying it as voluntary. Then it is attached to the bones. That's what in the skeleton bones are there. It will be attached to the bones. Okay. Then why it is called striated muscles? Because it shows, it will be seen as light and dark band as in the form of striations. That's why the skeletal muscle cells are also called what, ma? Striated muscles. Okay, ma? Second one is smooth muscles. Like the name itself, it's so smooth, right? It is spindle shaped. This muscles will be having the cells in the shape of spindle. In the shape of what? In the shape of spindle, and that is also unbranched. But what is the difference from the skeletal muscle is it is involuntary. We are not able to control. Is there anything which we are not able to control? You should not say no. If in the digestive system, in the case of digestive system, if by the time the stomach, what the stomach and intestine is doing, absorbing, digesting and absorbing the food, right? If you are knowing that in the night, during night time, I'm not going to have any food. So, I'm saying digestive system, please stop, because during night time you will not be able to have some food because I'm not going to eat. Please stop for a while. Will it stop? No. Okay, because they will not be under our control. Okay, these are smooth muscles. So what are the specialties? One, it is spindle shaped, unbranched, and also uninucleated. It is also uninucleated. There we have seen it is multinucleated. Here it is uninucleated and involuntary. For example, if you want to have to see something, when we are coming from light to darkness, you will not be able to see anything properly, right? So your eyes will be contracted, isn't it? This contraction and relaxation of this iris is not under your control. Is it in your control? No. These are controlled by what? Smooth muscles. Okay, did you get the idea? Then the third one is cardiac. So nothing to worry. It is always in heart. Okay, what are the specialties? It's also cylindrical in shape. It is branch. It is only muscle cells which are having branches. If anyone is asking, this is the answer. Which muscle cells or which tissues of the muscular tissues are branched? The answer is heart or cardiac muscles. And it is also involuntary. Is it in your control? Can you, if you are saying heart, please stop for a while. You are doing the work for a long time. Go and have some relaxations. Will the heart stop? No. If the heart is stopping, it will be stopped forever for us also, right? So the heart, this is also involuntary. And for what purpose it is helping? It helps for the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart. Okay, this rhythmic contraction and relaxation is done only with the help of this cardiac muscles. Now we are moving to see connective tissues. Dears, now we are moving to see about the connective tissues. Actually, the oxygen is intaken and from the alveoli, the blood is taking this oxygen and giving to the cells. Isn't it? Some connection is there. The oxygen from the lungs has to be moved to some other part only with the help of this blood. Actually, we are able to say now that blood is a connective tissue. Not only that, there are many connective tissues present in our body. We are going to see one by one. In the connective tissues, the cells are loosely packed and they are embedded in an intracellular matrix. The cells are loosely packed and they are almost free to move, but they are embedded in an intercellular matrix. This matrix is dense and it will be rigid and it will be jelly-like, and according to the place or whether it is in liquid form or whether it is in solid form, the matrix structure will be a little changed. Okay. Now we are moving to see the different types of connective tissues. First is fluid one and the second is skeletal one and the third is the proper one. First is fluid connective tissue, second is skeletal and the third is proper. First one we are seeing is fluid. From the name itself we are able to understand something is taking fluid. What is the fluid in our body? It is the blood, is the first name you will say, isn't it? No? Blood. What is the color of blood of humans? Blood is red in color, you will say. Actually, how it is, I will explain here. The blood having red blood corpuscles or red blood cells which gives red color to the blood. But it is embedded in a intracellular matrix called plasma. Not only RBC, WBC, platelets and all are embedded in this straw-shaped, straw-colored, jelly-like fluid called plasma. If the because of this RBC we are getting red color. If the amount of RBC or the number of RBC is very less, the color of the blood will not be dark red. It will vary. Okay, dears. So this is the intracellular fluid. What is that? Plasma in the case of blood. And it contains proteins, some hormones, sugars and all. And here the other cells are able to move freely. And what is the main function of the blood? Blood carry oxygen and gives to different parts of the body, and it also carries the waste, carbon dioxide, from different parts also back to the lungs. And these are the main functions, and because of this blood we are able to survive, and each cells will get energy because of the blood. So it is the biggest connective tissue. Moreover, lymph is a connective tissue. Lymph is also fluid. It is the colorless fluid. This fluid is present in the lymphatic system. This fluid is present in Verma. This is present in the lymphatic system. The tissue, the fluid which is drained away from the blood vessels are taken back to the tissues by this lymphatic system or by the help of this lymph. The lymph is also present throughout the body, human body. Okay, then we are moving for the skeletal connective tissue. When we are saying about skeleton, we will say about bones. Not only bones, there are some other thing, that is cartilages. What is bones? The main framework. Main framework of the organism is what, ma? It is the bones. It is strong, isn't it? The bones are very strong and they are rigid and they are not flexible. Can you able to make your arm in curved manner? No. Why? The bone is very rigid and it is not flexible. Okay. And is there any matrix in it? Matrix. It is also present in a matrix. The matrix is made of calcium as well as phosphorus. Calcium phosphate is the matrix present in it. Then we have to move to some other part of the skeletal tissue, that is cartilage. What is this cartilage? Cartilage. In this cartilage, the cells are also present, but there is wide space in between the cells. In the case of bones, they are rigidly packed. That's why it is having much more rigidity. But here in the case of cartilage, the cells are also present. There will be much more space in between the cells. That's why they are flexible. Touch your ears. Can you turn your ears? Yes, because the ears are made of cartilage. Nose, then our larynx and all are made of what, ma? Cartilage. Okay. Now we are moving for the proper connective tissue. First one is areolar connective tissue. What is this areolar connective tissue? Now we have said in our body, consider the hand, ma. Hand contains bones. Hand contains muscles. These bones and muscles, what is some other thing? Blood vessels are also there. Bones are there, muscles are there, blood vessels are also there. Is there any gap in between? No. Bones, blood vessels, muscles. There will be much more gap, no? But our body is not having any gap at all. This gap is filled by what? This gap is filled by areolar tissue. Okay, it is present in every part of the body, and the space between these bones, muscles, and this blood vessels are filled by the space gap is filled by this areolar tissue. Then it is also playing an important role, right? It is the full connective tissue present throughout the body. Then we are moving for the adipose tissue. Adipose means fat tissues, because every human, not only if we are saying about human, it will be much more interesting because we know ourselves. That's why. But not only humans, Kanna, all the animals we are saying. What was the heading? Animal tissues, isn't it? We are not specifying about the human. We are specifying all the animals. Human is also an animal. That's why we are giving stress to our. That's why we will know much more about us. It will be easy for us to learn. Every man or every animal is having adipose tissue just beneath the skin. Beneath the skin means after the skin, we can just under the skin we can see what, ma? Adipose tissue. What is it? It is actually made of fat cells. Fat cells. Cell is not fat, we are saying. The fats will be stored in the cell. Fat can be stored in the cell. For what purpose fat is stored? Fat makes the animal to be much more warm. The fat gives warmth to the body, and moreover it acts as an insulator which protect the body from the attack, because it will be much more smoother, right? The fat is there just like a cushion. It will save what, ma? Internal organs from the attack, so that it will be much more it will save or protect. Okay, ma? That's the function of adipose tissue. Then we are saying about tendons. Tendons. What are these tendons? Tendons are fibrous tissues. Actually, it is the one which connect the muscle with the bone. As we know, our arm, having biceps, triceps. Of these two types of muscles are present in our upper arm. This muscle will move when our bone is moving, isn't it? This muscle and the bone should be connected. Who is connecting that? Tendons are the one which connects it. It will be repeatedly asked in your question paper. Muscles and bones are connected by dash. You will forget. Usually you will forget. So the easy way is MTB. MTB. Muscle, tendon, bone. MTB. If you are learning MTB, you will not forget it at all. Okay? MTB. Muscle, tendon, bone. Okay? The same thing, ligaments. The ligaments are the one which is also elastic and it helps for the connection of bone to bone. BLB. BLB. Bone, ligament, bone. In that manner it will be connected. Bone, ligament, bone. Muscle, tendon, bone. Okay? In this manner it will be easy for you to learn. Now we have said about the connective tissues. We are moving for the nervous tissues and very, very important one. Dears, now we are discussing about the nervous tissue. Nerves. Have you heard about that word? It's very, very commonly heard. When we are touching the cooker which is very hot, immediately we will remove our hands from it, isn't it? Even though we have not seen, if we have not just seen where the cooker is, but if we are touching our hand, immediately we will remove. It's not because the eyes are seeing and we are getting information. It's because of the it is actually called response to stimulus. When a stimulus is active, we will respond to it. How it is possible? This is because of the nervous system, which includes brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Nerves are present all the parts of the body. That's why we will be having such a feeling. This is the response to stimulus which we are having a feeling. Here, the tissues. Nervous tissue, which consists of nerves. Nerves, have you seen? This will be coming for your exam. You should know what it is and how to draw it. Actually, nerves are nerve cells. They are called nerve cells. These nerve cells will be joined together to form this nervous tissue. From the brain to the tip of our leg, the nervous tissues are present. Okay, dears. Here we are representing the single nerve cells. How it is represented? Seema, the single nerve cell contains a nucleus, then a cell wall, and the cytoplasm layer is this, and then it is moving like this. A small tail like substance is there. Actually it is called axon. This part is called axon, and these are the terminals called axon terminals. Okay, or we can say as nerve endings. These nerve endings will join to the another nerve cell. Like that it will be as a chain. How many nerves are there in our body? Millions of nerves. To say billions of nerves are there in human body. In animals also much more nerves can be seen. Okay. Is the nerve, if there is no nerve, will it be good for us? Yes, dears, if your teacher is going to beat you or if the teacher is beating you, you will not having any feeling. That's good, right? No. Actually, yeah, for you, for a little satisfaction, you can say it is good. But actually, if anyone is beating or something is happening to your hand or any part of the body, that cells in that part will be dead. And if you are not able to recognize that your cell is dead, it will be very difficult. No, we will not be able to understand that cells are dead, and we can't do any other measurements to recover it. That's why this nervous system is very, very important here. Now, what is it doing? The nerves, it conducts the signal in the form of electrical impulse. Quickly it will transmit. The signals to spinal cord. Immediate transport is to spinal cord, or normally it will transport to brain, and the brain will suggest what the thing has to be done, and it will be transmitted back to the hand or like whatever part it is, and we will respond to it. That's what happening. Now the nervous system is the important part, and we have learned it. All the four tissues has been finished. Now it's the question time. Are you ready, dears? This is the questions coming for you. Which tissue has dead cells? First question. Which tissue is having dead cells? Here I am giving you options also. First one, A, parenchyma, B, sclerenchyma, 3, collenchyma, and the fourth one, D, epithelial tissue. Which tissue is having dead cells? Parenchyma, sclerenchyma, collenchyma, epithelial tissue. I think you can answer now itself. Second one, cartilage is not found in. Cartilage is not found in. Options A, nose, B, ears, C, kidney, and D, larynx. Okay. Third one, contractile protein is found in dash. Contractile protein is found in dash. A, bone, B, blood, C, muscle, D, cartilage. Okay, this is the time to wind up the class. We can meet in the next class. Bye.